Does he live in Cincinnati?
No, hell no. He lives in damn Loganville.
Oh, okay.
That motherfucker down the street.
Where's Loganville? Yeah.
Down there by damn South Gwinnett.
Yeah.
I'm in Decula, not Loganville.
Whatever, same goddamn thing. Shit.
Same thing. It's the same thing. What, tomato, right?
I was born and raised in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Travis, this is Juan Daniels. Juan and I have known each other without knowing each other for a long time.
Yeah, for a while.
And he helped me coach in that All-Star game recently.
Okay.
So we hit it off pretty good in that All-Star game. So I didn't know you and Adam were like that. Adam Britt. Adam said he know you for a minute.
Who's that?
Adam Britt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I used to live in Cincinnati for a while. I was there until I was about 8 years old. My dad worked at Procter & Gamble like everybody else works at Procter & Gamble.
Oh, yeah. My mom worked for Procter & Gamble for a few years.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, my dad's still there. Every time we go up there, the first place I hit is Skyline Chili.
Yep. I like Gold Star.
Yeah, Gold Star.
Gold Star better.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah. What part of Cincinnati?
Amberley Village. Do you know where that is? It's actually like a Jewish neighborhood. So my dad got in good and got into one of the rich neighborhoods. Because he was kind of bougie. So it was like a little bit outside of. It's pretty close to like Winton Woods. In that area.
Okay. Yeah, I lived in Lebanon.
Okay. Yep.
So halfway between Dayton and Cincinnati. So
your ass look like you used to live in Lebanon, all right.
The real Lebanon,
all over your face and every damn thing. You look like
Lebanon.
Shit.
Well, on that note, we'll start the show.
Start the music.
Play the clock. Oh, you already know what it is, man. Ooh and J, they coming through. Straight no chaser. Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip, don't need no script, just need a microphone. My man Coach Boo gon' take you to the entertainment zone. They got the stats of this and that to keep this show on point. And when we're done, we have some fun and rock this funky joint. So if you will, sit back and chill, give us a chance to show ya. If one of y'all would like to call, we'll talk just like we know ya. We take control, then start the roll, and then there ain't no stopping. It's time to dip straight from the hip. Hey, yo, let's get it poppin'.
Hey, welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from the Imperial Palace on Black Mania. That's right, I'm up here, Black Mania. We got a lot going on up here. Them damn Klingons got shit going on and everything else. I'm having to fly all over Black Man to document. I just document everything. That Black man, y'all know that. Y'all know the deal. I had to. Let me introduce y'all to somebody we got on the show. Y'all know Travis. What's up, Travis? Travis, say hello to everybody.
Doing good.
Y'all know Travis. Travis is Travis. I want y'all to meet Juan Daniels. Juan is a legend in this area. He is I hate to even say it because me being a former Commodore, I have to say it. You were a Bulldog, right? That's what I thought. Go ahead, Juan. Introduce yourself and tell the folks about yourself.
Yes, sir. I played for the Bulldogs back in the early '90s when we were not very good, so we were not playing for championships. I did play with the likes of Garrison Hurst, Andre Hastings, Hines Ward, and actually I played with Kirby. Kirby was there when I was there. So anytime you have an opportunity to see Kirby, ask him how he got dogged in practice every day. That's what I did.
I'm sure Kirby would love to tell us about how you used
to dog him. Every time I see him, I always remind him, man, don't ever forget.
He said, don't act like you somebody, Kirby.
Ever. Yeah, no matter how big and bad you get, let's pull out them tapes.
I ain't mad at you. What's up, Tom? Tom is our resident guy. He works at the movie theater here in Swanee, and he takes care of us whenever we go to see him at the movies and whatnot. So we always gotta say hello to Tom. And he jumped on my ass the other day. He's like, "Man, where's the show been? I hadn't seen the show." So I had to let Tom know we had moved from Tuesday night to Wednesday night.
Yep.
And so we're gonna kick it here. That's the big man said we got to kick it here on Wednesday nights now for a little while. Jason is kind of the grand poobah of this thing, and he said he might try to pop in. I don't really know what he's got going on tonight, but he's somewhere out there. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead real quick since you did say that you are a former Bulldog. We will at least talk about that for a few minutes and talk about UGA since we've been gone for a minute. Yeah, we have to. That's right. Now listen, I'm not a big Georgia Bulldog fan, and you know that. I'll admit that. However, I am a tremendous SEC fan.
Sir.
And y'all been talking all this poo-poo for I don't know how long about how, they shouldn't have always got to have 2 damn SEC teams in the Final Four. That's some bullshit. So this year, we didn't have 2 SEC teams in the Final Four. We had 2 Big Ten teams. How did that work out, Travis?
The semifinal game was good.
What was good?
The Georgia-Ohio State game was a good game.
Okay, but what about the other game? What about
that
Michigan?
game sucked.
Huh?
That game was terrible.
Exactly. But
then the national championship was the worst national championship in like the history of football.
But they did everything in their power to try to get a Big Ten team in the final this year. Everything. Because some people would say that Ohio State or either Penn State, either one, didn't have no business being in there anyway.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people saying that. A lot of people saying it should have been somebody from the Pac-12 or whatever the hell. But in any event, at the end of the day, y'all got your 2 Big Ten teams in there, and neither one of them made it. And once again, national champion is going to be that damn way next year, and it's going to be that way for a minute. I'm telling you right now.
12, even when they move it to 12, it's going to whittle down to the SEC, and that's the problem right there.
Exactly.
People don't get mad is when it's 12, and it's going to whittle all down. It's probably going to be 4 SEC teams.
Exactly. In the Final Four. Exactly.
Or maybe 3-1, right? Like Ohio State this year was a good team. They gave Georgia a run for their money, right? Like that was a good game. That was the best game. That I wish would have been the national championship game.
Okay, but let me tell you this.
12,
let me give my opinion.
3 out of the Final Fours in the SEC.
I tell our kids all the time, I'm like, listen, the bottom line is this. I don't lie. And I tell our kids all the time, like, say we were going to play Buford, especially this past year, I would have told our kids, I'm going to tell you, I tell y'all the truth. We're going to have to play as good as we can play and hope that they don't play as good as they can play in order for us to win. Because if we play as good as we can play and they play as good as they can play, they're going to beat our ass. I'm just telling you. Because I don't know how to lie to kids. I don't know how to lie to anybody. So I'm just going to tell them the truth. And I tell our kids that all the time. Ohio State probably played as good as they could play. Georgia didn't play as good as they could play. I mean, it was all kind of problems they had on. I mean, Kirby even said out there after the game, our quarterback better get his shit together because if he plays like this in the next game, we ain't gonna win. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So to me, Georgia was still clearly the better team because they played like dog shit and still won.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying.
That was bad. I mean, but to TCU's defense, I mean, whoever would have played Georgia that night would have gotten destroyed. The only
I agree.
I can think of that could have given them a chance is probably Janet Jackson in the Rhythm Nation. I mean, that's the only team that he even could have matched up with them that night. I mean,
I hear you. I ain't mad at you. And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree totally. So anyway, hats off to the Bulldogs. I got a couple of guys on the staff that I've been training and coaching since they were about 9 years old. And they say that next year's team could be better than this year's team.
Man, it's going to be – because, look at that defensive front. That was all freshmen and sophomores.
I know. I'm about to say, he said they didn't lose near as many people as they did the year before.
Yeah.
And he said that they're coming back loaded for bear.
Yep. And then you look at you look at Tom Monken's offense. I mean, it's a system. You can plug any quarterback in there, and they're going to be able to go out there and perform.
There you go. Sound like Shanny.
Yeah, exactly. Like Shanahan. Look at
Shanahan.
Purdy, you put him anywhere else, and he's just, he holding the clipboard. And,
yep.
and at best. And then maybe he'll jog out there and hold the kick, when they, when they kick the ball. But that's it.
I agree.
Right. I will say real quick, I know we're probably going to move on to the NFL playoffs real quick, but to that point, next year they have a lot of guys returning, but it is different when you have, and like you said, a new starting quarterback is going to make a difference, though. I'm not saying the guy that they're going to have, whoever is going to be the new starter isn't going to be good, but there's going to be some growing pains because that guy just hasn't seen the field in at least the last 2 years.
No, you're right.
With Stetson, being the starter for the last 2 years.
Well, I got you.
And Stetson, for as underrated, and people like to poo-poo on him because he doesn't have the look of an NFL quarterback, he made plays in college, right? So it is going to be a little bit challenging with a new quarterback, but they're still loaded.
Well, the good thing, though, for them is that defense is coming back.
Amen.
You thought that defense was good this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10 times better than that year. So you're going to allow a quarterback like that to grow.
Right.
That's the good part of it. So it just doesn't matter how many games it's going to take. He's going to have an opportunity to grow with that defense.
Well, you just have to know this too, Juan, before we get too caught up with Travis. Travis is also a big South Carolina fan. So he's hoping like hell. See what I'm talking about? See what I got to deal with? And so that's why he's hoping like hell that Georgia going to have some growing pains because they got to play them somewhere down the road. Georgia always beats the hell out of them. Somewhere around the third week of the season, Georgia just opened up a can of whoop ass so big. It covers up that whole little tiny little state over there of South Carolina.
It was bad, man. During the halftime, I was like, I got to do something else. I started trying to roll my hair with curlers.
Uh-huh.
What I got going on right here. That's how
got to do something. I ain't mad at that.
I stopped watching the national championship game halfway through the second quarter. That was awful.
I didn't. I watched every bit of it. I wanted to just watch that. Listen, I told you a long time ago, I said on this show, I can't wait till somebody's ass gets in there like Cincinnati or UCF or somebody like that talking all that shit about how they want to get up against Alabama or Georgia and just get the absolute dog shit beat out of them. And I sat there and watched every ounce of it. I was just like this on the TV.
I was mad that Kirby didn't flip the scoreboard. I mean,
me too. I was like, and I don't know if you saw Kirby's pregame talk that
I heard it
out. And Kirby was like, I was on TV with that jackass last week, and I had to sit up there and listen to him talk. And that's why Kirby said he kept the gas down. He kept his foot on the gas.
Well, they did say that
Howard should have been publicly shot for even picking TCU, and everybody else should have just been absolutely just gasoline and just set on fire.
Yes, sir.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking? That was terrible.
I know.
They did say that pregame speech that leaked was not from the national championship game. But that was a different game. So,
I knew the one I saw. Now there was a couple of them I saw. And I know for sure one of them was because he talked about the fact that he was on TV with the TCU coach.
Okay.
And he had to sit there and listen to him talk about how it was going to be a close game. And so that pissed Kirby off.
Whatever the TCU coach is smoking ain't even available in the States yet. He's somewhere on like a Tibetan mountain. You know what I'm saying?
Across the border to Mexico.
Yeah, it's somewhere, but it is not available in the States.
Yes, sir. All right, real quick, let's start off talking about Seattle and the 49ers, because this was probably, this was probably the biggest beatdown of them all. And I'm a 49ers fan, Travis, and I've been that way for a long time.
Yep.
And I still ain't happy. I mean, I'm glad we won.
You're never happy.
I'm glad we won. Because I tell you, I ain't gonna be happy till we get a damn quarterback. We don't have a real quarterback. I know y'all done baptized and blessed this little fool because I know, because y'all love the lonesome loser bullshit, and it's like it's just such a great story that he was the last player picked in the draft, and now he just, oh my God, he's so good. Oh, he just lighting it up. Dude, I'm so sick of hearing that bullshit. Half the passes that Joker throws remind me of Jimmy G. He got Joker making all kind of one-handed catches, turning their hips around, catching the ball, and all that, and y'all just loving it.
When he threw to Deebo Samuel, it was all he had to turn around and get it. Thankfully, Ayuk was down there blocking his butt.
Thank you. I mean, nobody. All they talking about is the throw. Yo, he made a great throw. Blah 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 blah. Etc. Says that bullshit, like you just said. Debo caught the ball spinning around backwards or some kind of stuff, then juked out one guy, turned another guy around. Then Ayuk made the block, and then Debo put on the gas.
Yes, he did.
And guess how it appears in the newspaper. Oh, what's the name? Brock, what's the name?
Purdy,
yeah.
Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Threw a 82-yard strike to Debo Samuels. Shit. That ball went about 12 yards, and then Debo ran 70, and that joke gets credit for an 82 or 72, whatever yard pass.
He running down the field, beat this chest like he did that, like he that
exactly.
guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm with you. I'm not with them feel good stories and let's make a movie about it, because if that's the case, I'll watch some Harry and Meghan, and ain't nowhere in the world that's coming on my TV. So I'm not with it at all.
Dude, I'm telling you, my whole thing is that let this joke be in the league for about 7 years. Like, I ain't ready to baptize. Somebody said Patrick Mahomes, the greatest of all time. How in the hell does that get out of anybody's mouth? I mean, when you think about Terry Bradshaw, Roger Starr, I mean, all these jokes done played in the years. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. That's another one.
Let me tell you right now, guys, these guys right here would not have survived during Terry Bradshaw's time. Terry Bradshaw, he's knocked out. They getting picked up in belly-to-belly slant, choke slam, choke slam. You know, they doing the Dudley boys on these guys.
I'm trying to tell you.
You go by and sneeze wrong by these quarterbacks. And, it's a 15-yard and a $10,000 fine. Come on,
dude.
Man.
Yeah.
They had one the other night that made me mad as hell.
I saw it.
I was like, if that's damn pass, if that is roughing the passer right there, man, y'all need to put flags on the quarterbacks. If that's roughing the passer right there, just put flags on them.
It's coming. It's coming next.
I believe you.
You're right.
What's going on? What's happening in Chocolate City?
Not much but basketball season, baby.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, ain't nothing happening in Atlanta right now. Nothing. I take that back. The Atlanta Hawks about to get their ass whipped by Luka Doncic here in a few minutes. It's on TV right now. So that's the only thing happening in Atlanta right now.
Background music.
I can tell you that much. But they getting them wings ready down there at the city.
You know
they get them lemon peppers ready, baby, for this weekend.
He's filling it out.
I'm talking about the whole Falcon team. I bet they're sitting down there right now. They probably sitting down there watching this broadcast right now because they know I hate that ass and they know I'm gonna talk about it. I know they wish they could find me somewhere, but that's another reason why I come up here to Black Mania. Because the last time I tried to do a show down there on Earth, the Falcon people surrounded my house, the whole team, and the executives and everything, and it was a mess. It was a mess. When I tell you, I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to let you know. That's why I come up here to the palace. I don't know I had to worry about that. So anyway, Irv, you got anything to say about San Francisco and Geno and the Seahawks? Geno say he want to come back next year and pay them people back for giving him a chance.
Yeah, Geno can come back all he wants. Geno's a lifelong backup quarterback. That's all we know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Noah Devine is not walking through that door. Noah Devine is not walking through that door.
Missy Elliott is a great backup, and she do great on hooks. But when she do her own album, they be like, "Oh." That's who Geno Smith is.
I hear you. I'm not a Geno fan. I don't mind telling you. And I mean, he had a nice little run there for a little while, and got him to the playoffs and all that. But I can't deal with Geno. Yeah, I can't deal with Geno. All right, well, I'm gonna skip this one game. We're gonna come back there. Well, let's talk about the Vikings and the Giants. Richard Hood, today's his wife's birthday. He wanted to be on here so he could. He was gonna give the Falcon speech for the Minnesota Vikings. He been on there bandwagon all year long.
All year long.
When I sent that text message out to y'all, and I sent it to some other people, I said, "Thank God, another sickening franchise is out of the damn playoffs." He gonna send me back talking about, well, nobody expected us to get as far as we got. So hats off to my team because we did. I said, boy, if you ain't a damn Falcon fan, I ain't never seen one in my life. Because that's the same shit you get from them. I had some Falcons fans say that. That's all right, because some people said we weren't going to win 4 games. So, the fact that we won 8 games, I said, man, go on somewhere with that bullshit. That is the biggest loser talk I've ever seen in my life. I mean, biggest loser talk. when you start talking that junk. What do you think, Travis?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I picked the Giants to win. Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings remind me of about 10 years ago when the Bengals had Andy Dalton. Very good in the regular season, would make the playoffs, had talent around them, and then when it came to they had to play a real team in prime time or play a competitive team when it counted, lost every single time.
Yeah.
So
but Travis, let's for the record, you loved that duck plucker back then. Don't act like you didn't love you some Andy Dalton. You were the biggest Andy Dalton. You couldn't nobody say shit about Andy Dalton.
He probably died in
yes, he did. Don't make me get Jason to come on here. Herb, you might have been around when that joke was.
No.
As a matter of fact,
Nah.
I said something about his ass not too long ago because he's down there in New Orleans or somewhere now. And I talked about his ass not too long ago, and you stopped me and tried to stop me from talking about. So don't act like you don't love you some Andy Dalton. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You see that? You see that, Herb? That's a damn shame. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Juan, what do you think about that game?
I'm telling you, he probably dyed his hair red back then too, man.
No. My brother's got red hair, so
all of it, Herb. All of it, everything. Eyebrows,
like Lee Erickson back in the day.
His chest hair dyed, all of it. Armpits, everything red. Sad.
Oh,
Juan, what you think about the game? You see that game?
Yeah, I did, man. You know, Kirk Cousins didn't do anything as far as really trying to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. I mean, and that's listen, after every game Minnesota plays, they ought to be carrying him off in a wheelchair because they didn't throw it to him so much.
Too much.
I agree. He looked bad. I mean, he looked bad in the pocket. I think underneath his shoulder pads, that big old chain was holding him down, so he didn't really to really get into his groove.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you why I like watching Minnesota, and the reason I didn't like watching them the other day. I'm a Dalvin Cook fan. I love to see Dalvin Cook run the ball, and I don't think they even tried to run the ball enough.
Nope.
I mean, when you're playing against the Giants, you typically don't have to score that many points. So I don't know why they weren't trying to like run the ball more, and trying to slow the game down a little bit, and just kind of wear them down and whatnot. And they throwing the ball all over the place, and that ain't Kirk Cousins' game. That's not his game.
Right.
And I don't know who decided to come up with that game plan or whatever, but and I'm just glad they're gone. I mean, the Giants finna get the hell beat out of them. So so like I said, I mean, you don't need but half of a Jalen Hurts. While they sit up there worrying about Jalen Hurts being hurt, I mean, you don't need but half of him for them. Now, as you move on, you might need a full Jalen Hurts, but they didn't even put him on the injured list this week. Okay. Or what do you think about it?
Yeah, my favorite Cousins did not look good the other day because you need 8 yards and you just chuck it for 2. I don't know what was going on with that. I sat here and watched it, and as soon as he threw it 2 yards, I took the remote.
Yeah, what are you doing? I couldn't even believe that.
Yeah,
like what goes through your mind? You need 8 yards.
I know.
And you just say, "I'm just going to give it to Hawkinson right here, 2 yards."
Yeah,
and it's not like there was
5 or 6 tackles. That wasn't happening.
Yeah, no, and the dude was standing right there
to save it. He was hanging on to him like he was falling off a cliff.
Right, it was ridiculous.
And it's not like Cousins had immense pressure that he just had to get the ball off that moment, right? Like he could have stood in the pocket for another 2 or 3 seconds and found Justin Jefferson or Thielen or somebody else.
I would have respected him more if he would have just been like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to kick the ball. I would have respected him more than for him to sit there and throw that 2-yard pass.
2.
I agree.
You need 8 and you throw for 2.
Real quick, I would just like to say kudos to myself for once again picking the Giants. We all remember at the beginning of the season, I said the Giants were going to make the playoffs, and everyone laughed at me. Kudos to myself.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. It's coming. It's coming.
Nobody gives kudos to themselves like Travis, though. I mean, Travis does that better.
Nobody.
He got that thing down to science, don't he? I mean, and we're gonna get to this in a minute, but I'll go ahead and say it now.
Mine is coming.
What did I do the other day on Facebook? I said, kudos to Irv
Yeah.
He called the Jags
He did.
long time ago.
I will.
You
yeah, I
know,
will
I
agree.
laughed at his ass. I've been
I did
beating
too.
him all season long.
I laughed at his ass too.
And see, I mean,
I still got the text.
I gave all props to Herb. Travis, I ain't giving you shit. I ain't giving you nothing. Anyway,
Y'all
moving
dog
right
me.
along. Let's talk about man, I'm still gonna wait on this other one. Let's talk about Dolphins and Bills. I mean, here the Dolphins are, you know, Tua's out. I don't even know what happened to the second string quarterback. Is that Bridgewater?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah,
Broken finger.
Bridgewater. I don't know what happened to Bridgewater. I mean,
Broken
Bridgewater
finger.
ain't been right for a minute. I think was he the one that the doctor adjusted his back wrong or did something and punctured his lung or something?
Yeah, I think that's.
No, that's Tyrod.
That's
Oh,
what
that's
I-
Tyrod.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I was thinking that was Bridgewater. But anyway, so they down to their third string quarterback. And you know, I think Buffalo was feeling some kind of way. They thought they were just gonna pimp in there and sign autographs while they were playing and win the game. And it wound up being a 34-31 win. Again, Josh Allen, I don't think was really Josh Allen. He didn't play the way I normally see him play. But you know, here we go again with this. Guys, when you play major college football anyway, or you playing in the pros, I don't want to hear about how, you know, all this. Oh, well, nobody expected us and this and that. You lost. It don't matter. You lost. So since you lost, you lost. So, I mean, that's my thought. Yeah, it was 34-31. But do we give Miami a lot of props, Herb, because they hung in there?
So the crazy thing is they haven't looked good at all without Tua. And at the start of this game, I was like, okay, same thing one more time. I don't know what's going on. But the old third stringer woke up. It was a pretty interesting game after that. And I think Buffalo let their foot off the pedal early, and Miami took advantage of it. And then, you know, Buffalo is one of those teams that can flip a switch.
Yeah.
And they ended up doing it. But the game was a little too close for what was going on with the quarterback position for Miami.
Juan, what you think?
I agree, man. I mean, you kind of can give them a little bit of props. I mean, but you know, this third string quarterback, I think the game before was up in the stands selling beer. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, he just came in there and just making plays. But you could tell if they had any other quarterback, if they had any other guy with some experience, they beat Buffalo.
Absolutely.
That guy right there just, you know, he just looked so uncomfortable. He just looked so unorthodox that if he had more time, you know, even backup reps or something like that, I think that they would have absolutely upset the Bills.
I agree. Travis, what you think?
No, I agree. I agree with everything that was said. Yeah, and I actually called my brother who was watching the game. I said, Buffalo's lucky they're playing a third stringer, right? Like, if they had any type of quarterback, even a basic second string guy, Miami wins that game. Buffalo was not impressive, didn't look very good, and I'm not going to chalk it up to all of it up to, oh, well, you know, they're playing the third string, they think they're going to win. Like, this one and done. You got to come out here and play. And they did not play very good, and they haven't played very good. Buffalo has not played very good the last few weeks. So, you know, I'm not overly impressed with how Buffalo is playing right now going into the division round.
I agree. Say hello to Miss Peavy, everybody. Miss Peavy just say hello to us. And Travis got us all messed up, Miss Peavy. Well, I can't type nothing back. I can't say nothing to you, so I had to get Travis to acknowledge you. He got my keyboard all jacked up. Well, I can't even write in the chat. But anyway, but here's my take. and y'all remember this. Remember it was said right here first. Cause you know, Black Mania is the technology and stuff that we got. I didn't tell you this, Juan. This is the planet that Black Man runs up here. This is the planet where the people from Wakanda came from.
Okay, all right.
So, you know, they ain't no regular Earthlings and whatnot. I mean, they came from up here. So you just know the technology we got up here. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't know if Tua ever play again.
I agree.
I'm just gonna tell you that. I'm just gonna tell you now. I can't give you all the secrets and whatnot.
I actually agree with you 100%, Coach. I
But
actually,
just
I
think that
100% agree with you.
Tua might be done.
Yep.
Because I just think that somebody might tell him that be on the safe side. If you don't want to be sitting up somewhere shouting out old lines to the movie Life, just for no reason.
Either that or he's
What's wrong, Herb? Talk to me.
Like,
You put me off guard with that one.
Two will be walking down the street and say, "Tell him about the gun, boss."
Look, going to sound like David Allegre from A Living Color sitting in the corner of the restaurant. I remember Michael Jackson when he was Mexican.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he one snap from it. He one snap away from it.
I really think that Miami is not telling anybody, obviously, because they got to hold that kind of stuff down, because they don't want anybody to know how bad they are in case they trying to, get a quarterback somehow or whatever in the draft. But like I said, I think that Tua might be done.
Well, that's
and don't get me wrong, I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
No.
And I hope it's not true. And even if he doesn't play again, I hope that, somehow he gets over whatever he's going through with those concussions. But I think it's going to be tough for him to play again. All right.
At this level. At this level. Now, if he dropped down and did some XFL ball or played in Canada, that might be a little bit different.
I agree.
These guys are coming. These guys
I agree. Ain't no doubt.
Each and every play, and they don't care about all that, man. They're trying to make money and win games.
Yes, sir.
And
all right, we're going to go ahead and talk about this game because the other
Coach,
two games.
Quick, you mentioned the draft. They don't have a first-round pick.
Yeah,
well, I know, but I'm just saying that they might be trying to get a first-round pick if everybody knew that Tua was going to be cuckoo and not be able to play again. Real quick, we're going to talk about this one because this was just a disaster. It's the Jaguars and the Chargers. And guys, I'm just going to tell you, I went to sleep. I mean, I
did too. I did too.
100%.
I did
that's
too.
The interception 4 or whatever. And Trevor Lawrence is my guy. And, I used to coach him in FBU. I mean, I was his coach. I was like the offensive coordinator, talked to him every play. That's back when we called him over to the sideline to give him the play. And when I saw him throw them 4 interceptions and all that, I was just like, man, I'm out. When I tell you I woke up that morning, everybody knows I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, just automatically. And I looked at that TV. I had to wipe my eyes and look back again. I was like, what in the hell happened? And so they lost. Now I'm gonna tell you the most amazing thing about this. Then I'm gonna pass it to you, Juan. The most amazing thing about it to me is that the coach for the Chargers was allowed to ride back on the plane.
Yep.
Because if I had been the owner, like I told Jason, I'd have been like, man, you are ordered. This is an order for you. You are still employed by me. Get your ass on a Greyhound bus and I want you to ride on that bus for 3 days and get back to California and then come see me when you get back to California. And then when he got back to California, I'd have fired his ass. Mm-hmm. As soon as he walked in, I would have been like, you are fired. You don't say shit to me. There ain't no way in the hell they should have lost that game.
Hit him with that Herm Edwards when they met Herm Edwards in the end zone. They was
Did you see that? Under the goalpost?
Yeah. Let me get them keys.
Under the goalpost. Man, that was crazy to me that Joker still has a job. And they said that your boy wants out there anyway, Peyton from New Orleans. Yeah. They say he wants to go out there. And if you don't think I picked that joke up in a heartbeat, first of all, that head coach out there looks like he every bit of 17. I mean, if that. So I don't know whose daddy or granddaddy or used to coach or used to be on the board of directors or whatever and got that because that's all that is. That's all that is. When you got all these grown ass men around here running around talking about they want to be head coaches and whatnot, and then you get the thing to him, man, please. Anyway, I mean that to me, somebody said it was a bigger loss than the Falcons in the Super Bowl. And I said, no, first of all, it was the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, it was the Falcons. So, to me, that's got to be the greatest loss
They always
of
gonna
all
Falcon. Yeah,
time.
they're gonna always Falcon. That's
Always.
That should have been first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just bad. What do you think about that game?
Yeah. I'm looking, first of all, I thought Trevor Lawrence was on the take. I'm like, man, he must owe somebody something because he sit there and threw it. But I'm like you, like I fell asleep and then next morning my wife, she told me that the Jazz came back and won, and I looked at it, and my thought is, and see, you're a better man than me because you said you would have like flew him back and not flew him, but whatever. I would have had all the players line up on the 50-yard line. I would have gave them a samurai sword and told them, hey, do the honorable thing. And they said, and then that's the only way. That's the only way that could have been some justice out of that. As a professional football player, and you making millions of dollars and you blow a 27-point lead,
man,
you should if you don't do the honorable thing, you should at least be jailed. Like those are my two options.
I agree. That was terrible. Travis, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. I would like to point out that are we giving Justin Herbert a pass? Because everyone seems to, and he's still the quarterback of that thing, right? Like,
I don't even like him. I ain't giving him shit.
Well, everyone else, I'm just saying, everyone's giving him a pass and blaming it all on the coach. And you could have called some audibles. Don't tell me you're not a good enough quarterback to call audibles. Well, he's supposed to be a top 5 quarterback in the league, bull squat. But top 5 quarterbacks in the league don't lose 27-point leads. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something else.
It doesn't happen.
Let me tell you something else I heard that made me not like that coach out there. He tried to pass it away like, well, I was taking care of the defense. So, that was really the offensive coordinator. I'm like, man, you for real?
He did get fired, by the way. The offensive coordinator did get fired.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They fired the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. He should be a missing person right now. It shouldn't just be fired. He should be missing right now.
The whole coaching
staff.
But not the whole coaching staff. Exactly, the whole coaching staff.
So that's what I'm saying. That ought to be the whole staff. Because it ain't just the offensive coordinator. It ain't just the offensive coordinator. How about your idiot player over there slamming his helmet down on the ground and all that stuff? Who's responsible for that, head coach? Who's responsible for it? Wasn't that Bosa? Wasn't that one of Bosa brothers?
Yep.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Or what you think?
Listen, I didn't go to sleep, but I started washing clothes. And I heard in the background that they were like, the Jaguars have a chance to take the lead. And I said, take the lead? So I came back in the room. First thing I saw on my phone when I woke up the next morning was the kicker like this. Listen, Coach, you better than me. I wouldn't have put him on the bus. I'd have told him to walk, and I gave him a call when he got to Alabama and told him he was done.
Dude, I was so mad when I heard that. I was just like, I can't believe. Because seriously, I thought that surely I'm reading the bottom line and stuff on the TV. Like, surely they fired him. I mean, surely that's the next headline.
I was shocked.
That dude had to be fired.
I was shocked Monday that he still hadn't been fired. I think he still hadn't been fired.
But
I'm not going to lie.
Would you put it on the OC and who else the GM got fired?
No, the OC and the...
I want to say quarterback coach. One of them.
It was the quarterback's coach, yes.
No. Everybody got to see the door.
I agree. It would have been more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, that's got to be some board member or, some lady who used to babysit the head, the owner. It's her grandson or some kind of shit. It's some kind of tie that he's in that
situation. Everybody got to go down. The captain, everybody would have lost like that. They got to go.
Somebody owe him money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I said.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence was on the tape, but I think the head coach for the, even more for the Chargers was even more on the tape. So they was outdoing each other.
I agree. That was some boo-boo there. These next two games we're going to talk about involve quarterbacks that we'll need to talk about after we talk about the game. We'll start off with Bengals. We know Travis. That's your. I know Travis. See what I told you. I warned you about Travis and them damn Bengals. Bengals 34. I'm sorry, 24. Ravens 17. First of all, for you to only score 17 points, your ass ain't had no business being in no damn playoffs. And y'all know I've been on this all year long about if you're a damn grown-ass man in the NFL playing on an NFL team and your team can't score 21 points, that's man law violation. I mean, the bottom line is that if it was me, and I'm telling y'all right now, I'm telling y'all this one more time. When I become commissioner of the NFL, which shouldn't be too much longer, because Roger called me the other day and said, "Boo, I'm about to let you have it." But when I become commissioner of the NFL, first of all, like I've always said, if you ain't got no dome, you ain't got no team. All that bullshit about being out there in Green Bay, we stopping all that shit. You ain't have to worry about that. Number two, if you don't score at more than 21 points, and you can't do no more than that for the fans of the NFL that are paying their damn hard-earned money for you to damn come out there and watch you play, you can't score no more than 21, 3 touchdowns, your ass on probation. And the owner, if it happens again, anytime that year, you got to sell the team. That's the way it's going to be when I take over.
Be sentenced to the Arena League. Because you can't help but to score a whole bunch of points in the Arena League, so they have to sentence them to that, to get the act together.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Somebody asked me. Somebody said, "Well, what would you do?" And Jason and I have talked about all this because Jason comes up with some good ideas. My idea is always better, but Jason comes up with some good ideas too. And what I was thinking was doing something like make the worst team in the NFL play the best team in Canada. And if they lose, they got to take their ass to Canada. And then the Canadian team get to come down here and try their luck down here. I mean, I think that would just I see all y'all faces. Y'all like, damn, that's some good shit.
That's it.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
I would even go as far as the XFL. You know what I'm saying? With the XFL and the USFL, they trying to make something happen, man. I would even give them a shot.
Well, I would, but as commissioner, I got to protect my players. And I wouldn't put it past somebody in the XFL out there trying to stab somebody on the field or something like that.
DDTing them.
Because, them jokers in the XFL, they
doing the rock bottom.
Yeah, doing the rock bottom. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the XFL is just a one small step up above prison football. Like, the
longest yard, right?
The longest Yeah. So I'm just going to let you know that right now. I could do it. But anyway, I think the bigger thing to look at in this game is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson just showed his natural behind. First of all, how you going to be the team leader, the starting quarterback, don't even go to the game? I mean, don't play. We already know you ain't going to play. But how do you not even go to the game? I mean, you ain't hurt that bad. You can't go and stand on the sideline with your Gucci and whatever on like they normally do.
Coach the quarterback up or have some type of team morale. So you already know he's just like, man, I'm done here. They ain't paying him his money, man. Why stay out there?
I mean, is that not crazy to y'all though? I mean, I didn't know he wasn't even there. I did not know that. When I didn't see him on the sideline, I assumed he was up in somebody's box or, he was just somewhere on the sideline where you couldn't see him. Maybe he was up there with the damn offensive coordinator trying to help call plays. But I just assumed he was somewhere. I mean, come to find out he wasn't even there. Then I heard today on TV that they had made him an offer that was totally embarrassing to him. I think they offered him like $125 million or something like that. Wasn't that it, Irv?
It would have made him the 11th highest paid quarterback.
Right.
Wow.
Right. And
that's a slap in the face right there.
He was hot as a firecracker when they made him that offer. And I mean, he doesn't have an agent. His mama's the agent. And so they said that's why they made her that offer, because thinking she wouldn't know any better. And in any event, all it did was offend him. So he done took to Twitter and putting stuff out on Twitter. And a lot of people saying there's no way he's gonna be able to go back to Baltimore when this is all said and done. Irv, your thoughts?
Yeah, and it
I know
was
you
dumb
got the
because
inside scoop up there in Baltimore.
yeah, so of course they talking about it on the radio here, but yeah, so actually he went back to the table and not his mom the second time to get a counter offer that would at least put him in the top 4.
Right.
And they raised it to make him a top 8 without all the guarantee money that he was asking for. So I mean, I honestly, we can look and see how this team is playing without him to how they look with him. And I understand he's hurt right now, but you don't have anybody protecting him. He got hurt in the pocket.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're not giving him the money, then who you giving it to? I mean, they gave it to Roquan Smith, what was justified because he played out of his mind once he got to Baltimore. But you still haven't gotten him a receiver in I don't know how many years. His favorite target, Mark Andrews, is in and out of the lineup because it's his only target. I mean, if you're not spending the money, you might as well give it to him.
What do you think, Travis?
No, I agree. In terms of the Baltimore situation, I don't think he's going to be the quarterback of Baltimore next year. I think there's a lot of burnt bridges. I think he feels disrespected by the organization. I think he feels betrayed. I think he feels like maybe not team members, but management is like questioning, his injury status. And I don't see him being the quarterback next year. Whether he gets traded or they just out and out release him, he's going somewhere else next year.
What do you think, Juan?
I think that if I'm a betting man, he's going to Miami. With that Tua situation. Because think about it, man. Look what Patrick Mahomes did when he had Cheetah, and he had, those other guys. So you give a Lamar Jackson, you give him Tyreek Hill, you give him Waddle, man, I tell you the truth. With his athletic ability, man, it's gonna be a nightmare. Yeah, he's not going back to Baltimore. That to make him the 11th and then just like Big Irv said, raise it to where he would be the 8th. That's still another big slap in the face, man. He is the franchise. He is, he's put Baltimore on the map because you go back before and who do you have? Joe Flacco, and you have who was it when they won the Super Bowl? Was it or
Trent Dilfer?
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, that and come on, man. Yeah. Like Baltimore's never really had that guy at the quarterback.
Trent Dilfer down there beating up high school kids now.
Yeah, man. He, what I'm saying? He was, all 4 of us would have had a chance to play on that team. You know what I'm saying? Each one of us, if we was quarterback, we could have done that. With that great defense and just hand the ball off to Jamal.
That's it. And let it run.
That's easy. So for them to do Lamar like that, man, and Lamar is just to me, and I don't know, Big Irv may know a little bit more. He's just a low key, humble guy, man. He just wants to go out there and play for his city. He wants to play for his team, and for them to do him like that, man, that's bad.
Now let me say this real quick, Travis. I know you're trying to say something. Let me say this. I got to introduce Juan to Mr. Peavy. Miss Peavy was just now on the show first. Now Mr. Peavy has joined. And Mr. Peavy is the kind of guy, I always say something stupid. I mean, he just always, first of all, he's a Falcon fan. So he drunk half the time and rooting for somebody he don't even know who he's rooting for. Yeah. But this Mr. Peavy said the Falcons are the front runners for Lamar. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When I say just out of his mouth just comes something bizarre.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you right now, if somebody were to take a picture of him, he got a fifth of a jack in his hand. I guarantee you.
The Falcons where the quarterbacks come to die, man.
Ain't no doubt. And probably wearing no t-shirt and some drawers. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Got a straw in his mouth. A piece of broom straw in his mouth.
The Falcons are the front runner for Lamar. I mean, if somebody doesn't take a picture of that, so we can have that for posterity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what they need, Mr. Peavy, is Lamar Jackson. Oh, that's what set the city on fire right now. Good.
Michael
Got
Vick
him back.
2.0. Come on.
Oh, have mercy.
Michael Vick 2.0.
Yeah. Man, oh man, no sir.
Wow.
Real quick, you did bring up Miami. That's an interesting one because he's from Miami. So I could see him possibly, obviously getting paid, but maybe doing a slight discount because he's from there, right? I'm sure.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, if all this stuff is true and he does not return to Baltimore, it will take Baltimore probably 5 years to recover.
I agree.
Because they have totally built that team around him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I've heard the damn head coach say it. I've heard him say many times, guys, listen, after him being here for a couple of years, we just decided that he's going to be our guy.
Yep. And
we have built this team around him to make him be our guy for his style of play.
Yep.
And get used to winning, 21-17, or get used to winning, 17-10. And I mean that they built it that way.
Yep.
So now for them to try and undo it, I mean, you got to get a real quarterback. Then you got to get some real receivers, and not make it where his tight end is his number one target. I mean, dude, it's a lot of rebuilding to do. And I mean, you can't get all that in one draft, or you can't get all that in one season. It's going to take years to try to develop that team into a basically not today's premier team. Yep. Where you got a wide receiver that can take the top off and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's going to take a lot of doing and undoing. So that's crazy. So anyway, last game that we'll talk about.
Whoa.
What we talking about?
I'm not letting you slide off the Bengals game without me, the Bengals fan, talking about my team winning, okay?
Okay, well, they won 24-17.
So my team, the Cincinnati Bengals, correctly won, just like I thought they were going to. Hooray for us.
Okay, what else you want to say?
3 things, just real quick, 3 things.
Okay,
one, everyone's talking about how bad we are, but last year we beat the Raiders on the last play of the game, defensive interception, so I don't really worry about that.
Okay, what's number 2?
2, we played Baltimore the week before and a division rival, so I figured it was going to be close. And 3, I'm not too worried about our offensive line going up against Buffalo because they don't have nearly the front 7 that Baltimore does. That's the toughest front 7 we're going to see, and we're getting 2 offensive linemen back.
Okay.
Go Bengals! We're beating the Bills this week. Okay, now we can move on.
Just let me ask you this. Why did you think that the Bills were going to beat the hell out of the Dolphins because they had their third string quarterback? But when the Ravens have their third string quarterback, you didn't think the Bengals were going to beat the hell out of them?
I didn't say the Bills were going to beat the hell out of the Dolphins.
Okay. Well, everybody else did. I guess everybody else didn't know.
I'll tell you what, I'll be honest. I do root for the Bengals too. Here is what Joe Burrow is flirting with, though. He is tied right now for the most sacks in the playoffs.
I know.
Right now, he's tied. So you can best believe he's gonna be the number 1 guy after this weekend because they're gonna give up some sacks, man. Like that's bad. Yeah. He's gonna.
I agree, but he got sacked a shit ton last year, and they still made the Super Bowl. So I'm holding out hope.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you about my man, Tom. My man, Tom said, Travis, we've had some good plays too, meaning we the Falcons, but the Falcons still suck. There you go. Thank you, Tom. Exactly. I agree with you 1,000, as they always say in Atlanta, 1,000%.
Can I rebut to what Travis was saying?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Irv.
Remember, I got the microphone.
Let's just realize that the Bengals was one idiot, and the offensive coordinator from the Ravens should be fired as well. Who calls a jump over the line, goal line play from
Thank
the 2?
you. Amen.
From the 2?
With your backup quarterback, with your third string quarterback.
Irv, I agree with you.
He went 98 yards.
98 yards.
Exactly.
And he weighs 498 pounds.
I agree with you, but sometimes you just got to get a little lucky, okay?
He's still in the hospital right now with some oxygen, with an oxygen tank recovering from that.
Exactly.
Run.
No, they you didn't see that? They permanently put one in his house now.
Sam Hubbard, everybody.
That joker,
That's the game right there.
That
That's
joker
the game.
busted the love.
They could have kicked the field goal and won because Cincinnati didn't score after that.
And understand too that he had like Joe Burrow just ate it up the other day. Just threw for 5,000 yards and all that. They got lucky and won that game. So you talk all that. Anyway, going to the Cowboys. Cowboys and Buccaneers. This Brady fan, Brady haters, but I'm a Brady fan, and this one hurt me. And then number two, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I hate the Cowboys with a passion. With a passion, I hate the Cowboys. So, and my brother and them were all hoping and wishing and dreaming they were gonna win. Oh, I know. Come on, Miss Peavy. I know Miss Peavy. Miss Peavy claims that the Cowboys are her team, and she know good and damn well she and Mr. Peavy both love them damn Falcons. And they probably sitting up there at Magic City together right now getting some of them Lou Williams wings. But I know, Miss Peavy. I know. But now she gonna talk. Go ahead and talk all that trash. Give it to me, Miss Peavy. I'm gonna let you go on. I'm gonna take it right now. Cause y'all finna get a beat down. I'm telling you right now. I'm Brock Purdy. I am 49er man this week. Whatever I need for the damn 49ers to beat the damn Cowboys. Then, Miss Peavy, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have your ass on this show next week, it's going to be trouble. If you are not here when they lose next week, I'm telling you that right now. I'm going to come find you wherever you are because it's going to be on and cracking. But again, and we can talk about the game, but let's talk about Tom Brady too because I just want to get, after you give your spiel on the game, give me your spiel about what you think is going to happen with Brady. Go ahead. Let's start with you, Herb. Let's go around the other way.
All right. Well, frankly, I was upset because me personally, I'm a Cowboy hater as well, but more towards the fans than the team.
Oh, definitely the fans. Definitely the fans.
I
ain't never met a Cowboy fan, nobody excluded, who is just a terrible fan. That's sickening. Just like Miss Peavy right now, sticking her chest all out, acting like she did something. You didn't do nothing.
I was just online, just unloading posts, just pissing them off during the game. Oh, man. I mean, they wanted fifth place so they could play a team with a losing record. They just wanted fifth place so they can easily beat up on Brady after beating them down game one. Oh, I was loading them up. I was just throwing them out there, and they was taking the bait.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my God, Brady just looked so bad. But the defense looked so worse.
I know.
The defense was the worst part of the game. Tampa was just letting them go.
Was the worst. Hurt my heart.
Yeah, it was bad. I was crying. Real tears.
What's Brady gonna do? What's Brady gonna do?
If Lamar don't go to Miami, Brady going to Miami.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you said Brady stays and plays. Okay, Travis?
First, I think Brady does stay. Not stay, but he will play. I will go with the Raiders as their new quarterback.
Oh, wow. Travis got to go to the Raiders.
I will go with the Raiders. But I think, if anything, this showed how bad the NFC South is.
Oh.
Because they were the champions of the NFC South with a losing record and got their butt kicked. So how bad are the other three teams in the NFC South? Because that game was terrible.
Well, you can say that about several divisions. But, yeah, the NFC South, we know they're bad. And they are. And they are.
Oh, and Brett Maher needs to, already be gone from the Cowboys. You got to find a new kicker after 4 extra.
But they didn't. They said they're keeping him. They already announced that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. What you think, Juan?
The defense looked bad, man.
Oh my God!
That's not a typical Bucs defense that we're used to. Brady looked bad. I think Brady leaves though because it was a shame Byron Leftwich got fired. They just they sent him packing. I think they had a pretty decent relationship.
That's terrible. I didn't know that. That was terrible.
Yeah. But it's here's the thing. It's going to be kind of a whatever happens to Brock Purdy first. And then that's where you're going to see Brady end up because Purdy can't stay in San Francisco, not with not with Garoppolo, and you also have
Trey Lance.
Say it again. Yeah, Trey Lance. So it's either going to be Brock Purdy's going to go to the Raiders. If he doesn't go to the Raiders, I see Tom Brady going to the Raiders. Derek Carr is gone. I mean, he's pretty much out of there. He's already said his farewell.
Yeah, he already did his thing on Twitter.
Yep. So it's going to be, if Brock Purdy doesn't go to the Raiders, I see that's where Tom Brady.
Okay, I got a news flash. Mr. Peavy just announced Brady's coming to the Falcons to be the.
You know what though? Hey, if Tom Brady,
put it up there, Travis.
Fair,
Travis,
he owes
put it up there, Travis. Look what he put right there.
Hey, Tom Brady owes the Falcons, man. He needs to repay them for that pain that he put them through. He owes them. Boys. So that's fair.
Breaking news right there. It's on the bottom line, Mr. Peavy.
I'm supporting Peavy on that one. That's fair. That's fair. Tom Brady owes them.
Brady wants those lemon pepper wings.
Yep.
All right, let me break down. Let me break down for y'all what's really gonna happen. What's the for real? The Bucs want him back. They made that clear. They already done went to social media and everything else saying they want him back.
He doesn't want him back.
I don't think they get him back. Miss Peavy wrote in here that that he said he wants to retire as a Patriot. He ain't going back there right now in that trash heap that they got there right now. Mm-hmm. I guarantee if he only got one more year, it won't be there.
No, sir.
The only way he retires as a Patriot is if he signs one of those lame one-day contracts.
Yeah, one-day contracts.
That's the only way he does the Patriot thing.
Yeah, or he'll do that the year after next or whatever. If he comes back this year, and I'm not so sure.
I'm not either.
That he doesn't just go ahead and retire. I, for one, would like to see him retire because I don't think he can lead anybody.
I wish he would have just done it after he won.
Me too. Same.
Go out high. You know what I'm saying, on a high. But it's just kind of like Jerry Rice just stayed in the league too long, man.
Jerry Rice, Emmitt Smith.
Then he
Emmitt Smith did the same thing.
I'm like, come on, man, don't do that to us, Jerry. And Jerry's that's my dude.
I know, but dude, I don't want to remember Tom any other way than I remember him now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be like Jason. Jason always gets on me about Michael Jordan. Yeah, what about that shit when he went and played for the Washington Wizards? I'm like, why you want to bring that up? You know that wasn't really Jordan.
But that hurt though, man. It's kind of like, when Muhammad Ali just stayed in there a little bit too long, man. You just like, man, don't let George Foreman do you like that, man.
I agree. I mean, I want him to like I said, I want him to definitely try to just go on ahead and get out. That's what I would rather see. And I'm very hopeful that he will. I think that really he's leaning that way. And I mean, who knows, but I'm afraid that he will come back. And it won't be pretty if and when he does.
Yeah. So he's Brett Favre it right now. You just come on, man, just let it go.
What's your prediction, Coach?
Again, as far as
play, but where?
As far as a team, I would say probably Oakland, because I think him and Josh McDaniel have a good enough relationship.
That's why I think it's the Raiders too.
Yeah, and they they could work that out. Yeah. I mean, I would love to see him in San Francisco. I know that's been talked about too, because that's where he's from. And him and the genius of Mike Shanahan could I think be real special.
That'd be dangerous, yeah.
So that would be good for me too, because like I said, obviously being a fan of both him and San Francisco, I'd love to see him in San Francisco. But again, I just don't know that he can be a Super Bowl caliber quarterback anywhere right now, because I just saw too much stuff the other night that makes me feel like he's shot out, and he needs to sit down somewhere. I think he's afraid of bones breaking and all that other kind of stuff. When you start getting older, you have to, I used to never hold on to that handrail, when I was going downstairs, anywhere. Now, shit, I'm the first one reaching for that. I'm slapping other people away from it.
Yeah. At 45, you was just waking up with a neck ache from sleeping wrong. Let alone getting hit by linebackers and all that other kind of linemen. Come on, man. Just let it go.
I think he's definitely out of Tampa just because of the post-game press conference he gave and all that stuff, right? He definitely said his goodbyes to all the media and in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
My problem with San Francisco, Coach, is they have 3 quarterbacks on their roster right now, right? San Francisco does.
Yeah.
You're going to have to at least get rid of 2 of them
Yeah.
before Brady's going to say, okay, I'll come there. And even if let's just say you get rid of Jimmy G and Brock Purdy, right? And you're going to keep Trey Lance because you think Trey Lance is the guy of the future, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That
might have already been the worst, but go ahead.
And it could be. But I don't think Brady wants to be looking over his shoulder going, oh, shit, if I play bad, some youngster is going to be playing. Because, he got pissed off when they did that with Jimmy G at the Patriots.
Yeah, so, but not that was when he still had 10 years left on his career. He knows he ain't got no more time left on his career. It's going to be one of them things where once they take me out, I'm packing my shit up and leaving because that means I'm done. Because the bottom line is if he does go there and they let him play and they ever get to the point where they say it's time to put this other kid in, he's done. I mean, he's retired for sure. He ain't going nowhere else. I mean, he only got like one more year probably at the most.
I think he's got, at the most.
And they put everything, too, into Trey Lance. Like, Trey Lance is the future. I mean, again, to the point where they put him in over Jimmy G, who just led them, just had a pretty good season before that. And they just put him in there, said, this is our future. So there ain't no way in the world they're going to sit and Trey Lance on the bench, and let Tom Brady come in there and do it. They're just not going to do it.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I don't think San Francisco's the answer. That's why I think San Francisco's not in.
They'll have a mutiny out there, man.
Yeah.
With all those first-round draft picks you gave up to get Trey Lance, he's still sitting on the bench?
Yeah, I agree. Real quick.
Second great fire of San Francisco, man.
We got to get off here in about another minute. Just real quick. I'm going to start with you, Juan, and we'll go back the other way. What does Aaron Rodgers do?
I think Aaron Rodgers, I think he's gone, man. I think he said like one of his last interviews, he was talking about Jordan Love. They're like, if it's his time to play, go ahead and let him play. You know what I'm saying?
Is he gone from
Green Bay? I don't.
Okay, he still plays though.
I think he plays because he's that guy that just has something to prove, man. He's more vindictive. He'll do it just to be vindictive more so than anything, to go somewhere and try to beat him, just like Brett Favre did. When he went to Minnesota, all he wanted to do was beat Green Bay.
Gotcha.
It's something about them Green Bay something ain't right. They don't want to leave, but then what they do, they want to go beat somebody.
Travis, what do you think?
I agree. I think he's gone from Green Bay, but not in the NFL. He'll be a starting quarterback for some team next year, but it won't be Green Bay.
Give it to me, Mr. Peavy. He coming to Atlanta. Go ahead.
He's only going to a winning team. We'll say that.
No, so I actually thought if he leaves Green Bay, it would be the Vegas Raiders.
Really?
I could actually see that with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I thought that was it. And it's funny how Devontae Adams left because he thought Rodgers was going to leave.
Yeah.
So he goes with his boy, and his boy leaves.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say this, and I hope and pray that this is true too. I hope he retires too. I mean, I really do. I mean, do I think he can still play? Yes, but I think he right now is where Tom Brady was a couple years ago, where I wish he had just retired. Because I don't want to remember this season and that beatdown they took the other day. I don't want that in my memory bank when I'm talking about Brady. And I have to listen to the haters say, "Yeah, but what about that Dallas game?" I don't want to go through that. So it's like I said, the same thing. That beat down the other night, just like he said, when the guy said, "Let's swap jersey," he's like, "No, man, I think I'm gonna keep this one." I mean, that's what I'm saying. Take that jersey and take all the memories and stuff you got with it, and just sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I feel about it.
You know a team I could see him honestly going to, if he doesn't mind the fact, coming after him, would be Tampa Bay.
Travis, I need you
They have the wide receivers right now.
I know.
Like, they're a quarterback away.
I need you to highlight Mr. Peavy's first comment and his second comment. Them last 2 comments right there. That's number 1. Look right there. Look right there, Juan.
I see it.
Now look at number 2. Look at number 2.
That's even funnier.
Look right there.
That's even funnier.
I'm trying to tell you. That's what it's all about, Mr. Pig is an Atlanta man. I'm telling you that right now.
5-star table service. Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He'll be
Lord have mercy.
Wow.
All right, folks, it is 9:09. We got to get out of here. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Guys, if y'all don't mind, when y'all get in touch with people and whatnot, shoo them this way. And let's get the gang back in here for the show. Mr. and Miss Hood would have been in here tonight, but they were, it's her birthday. So they had a little birthday celebration for her. And they invited me to go with them for dinner. I said, man, I got to do the show. And they said, what show? And then they got on my ass for not telling them we had moved to Wednesday night. So that is what it is. Juan, we appreciate you being on.
I enjoyed it, man. Y'all
we had to bring you back on here, man. So I'll be hitting you up a lot and let you know about it. Travis, always good to have Travis on here. Travis, thank you for filtering through everything, getting everything set up for us. I know you had some difficulties with that. And Chocolate City Herb. How your girls basketball team doing?
We're 9-3 right now. We're looking good.
9-3. And probably gonna wind up 9-8, just like the Falcons.
And chill out. Don't put that in the air. Coach. Don't even put that in the air. Don't put that in the atmosphere. We got positive vibes here. I got a game on. I'm using positive vibes right now.
19-3, 19-3. There you go.
All right, man. We'll see y'all later. Good night, Miss Francis.
Right from the hip.
All right, Juan. We